Okay, so how is this and this more similar than you think? And how can I prove to you that I'm not overthinking all that? It all boils down to a little something like called the development of an art form. But what's this, you ask me? Well, first of all, you ask too many questions. Second, bear with me for a moment. I promise I'm gonna talk about Chainsaw Man very soon. Almost any art form can be split into 3 different phases. Although, don't take this as a linear progression of any sort, not even a rule that describes the whole world of art, but rather a simplification of something more profound. Phase 1. That's the phase that revolves around primitive art. Not that. Yeah, that's it. You can carve stone with whatever you have at your disposal, or make a drawing with whatever liquid can stick to things. The tools you have are limited, and by extension, you are limited on what you can make. But you still have to learn your craft. Regardless of the equipment, any art requires learning. You have to build or develop more elaborated tools if you want to make more elaborated art. So, no keyboard, no auditory hallucination to your monkey brain. The same goes for other art forms. For example, no paper, pencil, or drawing tablet, no stoffel. And I have the right to refuse to elaborate further. And now comes the fun part. You can finally try to create something new in a world where millions of art pieces already exist. Millions of songs, millions of artworks, millions of mangas, and millions of... I don't think I can read that here. Now, it would not be an overstatement to say that phase 3 is the most important. And I'll tell you why. Jimmy, how do you create something new and make it original? I would answer by understanding the fundamental human aspects of art before rules and theory. Because if you know what makes our human hearts burn with passion, you can make whatever you want be meaningful. Also, I want to show you something. Just 1 second. Okay. In layman's terms, if you understand the human aspect of art, your stories are gonna be better than this. I know, I'm sorry. It's horrible, I know. Back to the box. You go. So, when masters of the arts who understand humanity before style appear, a new style develops. And then people say, this is finally the peak. There's nothing greater we can achieve. New rules and theories are created to follow the new trend. People spent hundreds of years trying to figure out thousands of ways to make music. And they spent thousands of years trying to figure out how to tell a story. Rules come after the fact, and not before. When masters of a technique appear, it's difficult to think things can be different, or that they should be. Imitators appear, or people simply look up to what they like when looking for something to create. It's a vicious cycle of small improvements upon past ideas. There's never a peak. And that's the whole point why the hero's journey exists. Wait! I see you are looking. Wait, look! Shiny finger! Shiny! Don't look at it! That's the whole point. Shiny finger! Don't look away. That's the whole point why the hero's journey exists. The hero's journey is the analysis of thousands of past Western stories. After trying for so long, people finally figure out what works. Wait, what always works? Write that down! We found a storytelling manual at the level of the Philosopher's Stone. We don't need to be YouTubers anymore. Alas, that's not the case. Once everything looks the same, nothing is appealing anymore. You get bored. The same goes for music, books, manga, anime, movies, and the like. And that's exactly what Fujimoto said in one interview. I present to you Exhibit A, and that's it, as I don't have Exhibit B. I think my readers have read a lot of manga and gotten bored. Samura Hiroaki, another mangaka, then answered, and I quote, "Ha! Ha! That sounds about right. People gotten tired of orthodox manga." Wait. See, we got there! I told you we would get there eventually. Huh? Now, a parallel line could be drawn. Artists from the 19th and 20th century tried with such a fervor to figure out how to overstep the boundaries of what was considered music. And no, Patrick, mayonnaise is still not an instrument even after that. But I digress. Patrick! By the way, could you pass me that book? Oh, no, I mean... Okay. That's literally the life's work of Schoenberg. And you may ask why I'm making no joke when introducing him. Well, that's because I respect him. And to honor his work, I'm gonna talk about him in a silly YouTube video. Oh wait, Schoenberg was a composer, music professor, and music theorist. And not job to brag about in parties, but a job nonetheless. He and his students were the spearheads of the Second Viennese School. By the way, the first one was composed by Mozart, Beethoven, and Haydn. Although it wasn't a school per se, so why was it called school? I don't know! By early 20th century, before, during, and after World War I, and during the period of World War II, Schoenberg worked like a madman to break the popular vision of what good art was. Back in the 900s, in the eyes of critics or more sensitive folk, you should either write good music or no, not at all. And do you remember when I asked you how do you create something new? Something original? I mean, of course you do, it's been less than 20 minutes. So I really hope you remember that. Otherwise, call a doctor. To be fair, Fujimoto didn't face the same as the composers. I'm serious! If you don't remember that, call a doctor. To be fair, Fujimoto didn't face the same as the composers of the past, but a comparison can be drawn nonetheless between the old and new art. In a world where Demon Slayer, Dragon Ball, and One Piece style and storytelling are king, what is Chainsaw Man doing here? Without spoiling it all, let me explain it, although very vaguely, because I really want you to read it or watch it. Denji is not a hero, he's a kid. The story is not about saving the world. Heck, it's not even about saving others most of the time. Until later on in the story. It's about Denji getting back his stolen life. Characters are extremely quirky and humane at the same time. The plot never leads to where thousands of other stories would. Actually, he straight up pulls a 180 most of the time, and it's not fulfilling nor happy. Yes, you're gonna feel sad reading it. A lot. The storytelling devices are unorthodox, with a bunch of different things that somehow together make sense. And let me give emphasis on that. It somehow makes sense. Chainsaw Man is basically a fever dream that appeals to fans of horror, shonen, slice of life, and drama. And I'm not a specialist, but these things usually don't go together. And Fujimoto has such a deep understanding of the human aspect of storytelling that I believe he could tell a story about 2 chickens and still make me cry. Huh? Oh, he did that. But I digress. In a world with written rules about how to make art, Fujimoto manages to always bend them. He tells a story that feels fresh without over-relying on shocking the reader just to make the story dark. And that's the idea many composers had. Emotions are more valuable than just making pretty art. Art is meant to make us feel something, to see something we cannot with our eyes, or understand something that cannot be said or written. And that's what I hope happens to art, as it always has. Things change, but there's always a way to express yourself in this new world of art we live in. Oh, not convinced enough? Did I say more? 'Cause I have more. Hey, that's your job. Okay, take it. And that's it, folks. Wait, we're expecting anything else? There's nothing. I have nothing else to say. The video has ended. Ignore the fact that there's a whole minute left and go home or watch another video. I don't know, your choice. But there's nothing else. This video is sponsored by me. Myself. Yours truly. The guy on your window. The guy by your window. The guy inside your house.
One out of 3 people suffer attacks from random YouTuber guys. If you don't want that happening to you, consider donating to Ivory Sharp's Patreon. This way, he may just give you a shout-out instead of threatening you or going after you. Be safe and stay away from random YouTuber guys at night.